Well, friends, family, subscribers, viewers, and even some haters, the occasional hater. Welcome to your Sunday edition from JSNIP4, Realist News, YouTube. A couple things I noticed. Today is Saturday as I'm doing this video, but earlier in the day, Barclays, another too big to fail bank, Barclays server crash. Had a little server issue and left a bunch of customers, quite a number of customers, unable to withdraw cash or even use their debit cards. And when they would try to use them, insufficient funds declined. That's what was coming up. Zerohead says, having managed to stem its recent earnings rout, reporting a Q4 rebound in income from continuing operations, which rose to 380 million euros after reporting a staggering loss of 2.24 billion euros just a year ago. United Kingdom's Barclays is facing a more traditional problem, which on Saturday, Barclays customers have reported problems using their credit cards in shops and withdrawing money from some cash machines, according to the BBC. And I was following this most of the day, and I noticed it was like hours. Oh, let me try to get my seat to stick in here. It was like hours. And I'm watching some of the sheeple. My favorite thing to watch sometimes. The sheeple commenting back to the people at Barclays on Twitter. And of course, whoever was handling the Twitter account at Barclays, we sincerely apologize. We're so sorry that happened. We are working on it. It's an urgent priority. We're so sorry. And some lady was, my son's birthday was last night and we were supposed to do this and that, and I can't do that. What am I supposed to do? You're telling me to just check back and see if it starts working at some point in time every hour? What am I supposed to get my 3 kids? Get them all put in the car, drive down the street, check the ATM. Is the cash working yet? Nope. Go back home. This is ridiculous. I've said it once, and I don't mind saying it again, by the way, because I'm that dude that doesn't mind putting something right back in someone's face that I've told them about in advance. Your money should be in your control. Keep cash on hand. Listen, maybe you've got, I'm just going to say $20,000, $25,000 in the bank. Would it hurt to keep $1,000 at home? Would it hurt to have just $1,000? No, $500? Anything that lady needed to do that this weekend, $500. Again, $1,000 would have been even better, and you wouldn't have to worry about this. My biggest question and concern, as you might have guessed, was this really a server issue at Barclays? Now, most of you know, I am in information technology. I am in that field. I do programming, database work, as well as my first title working for the company. I've now been there for, 11 or 12 years now. I was a systems admin or network administrator. And I know all about backups and redundancy and things like that. Where I work, they sell business phone systems to small and medium-sized businesses for the most part. I personally support my company. I don't support our customers. I support our company, day-to-day operations. I've written some programs, database applications. We use it, my system basically for everything in the company. Very proud of writing that application, by the way. But, I saw a flaw. You guys are doing stuff on spreadsheets and Word docs, and this is, 10 years ago, or 2008 time frame. Guys, can I try to write something to help us out? Yeah, if you could do it. Studied some stuff on database applications. I decided for what we were doing, we could use Microsoft Access. I built a program. Now I've developed some other stuff in .NET language. But anyways, point being, this isn't a banking and or financial institution in which people have debit cards and credit cards through. Should it have been, we would have had a serious data center type of thing, going on, whether it was in-house or at a data center somewhere else, like as in, a prime spot, downtown Tampa, Dallas, Texas, in a big spot, big data center. And by God, we're going to have some serious redundancy, clustering, failover, everything. So when I, as an IT person who understands these systems, sees that a gigantic multi-billion-dollar bank, too big to fail, named Barclays in this case, says they had some server issues that knocked this down, server problems. Again, what about your redundancy? You don't have one database server handling everything. You've got redundant, high availability, redundant systems, clustering. Cluster. What is a cluster? A cluster is more than one server that work on the same thing, essentially. You could split a load potentially between a cluster or two servers within a cluster, or 3 servers or 4 servers or 5 servers or whatever. If one server goes down, nothing really changes. No one even knows it happened. The rest of the systems pick up. The load balancer in front of that distributes the load where it needs to go. Oh, you're down, no problem. You're not going to get any more data coming to you, etc. This is a large bank. Are you going to sit here and tell me glitch? Remember that one? When's the last time we got to hear that again? Glitch, server problem. Yeah, okay. And the default response was funds not available, apparently, from what I was reading. Insufficient funds. Insufficient funds. And that's what some tweets I was reading, by the way. This is not me guessing. Insufficient funds. Declined. Now, I will say I don't know what other error codes you might receive should they need to just stop the transactions. Like, do you just take your card in and it just says, the system's down? Or is there only one error code and the error code is insufficient funds? I'm going to have to say no. There's no way that's the only error code. So if people are getting that error code while this glitch was happening, I'm wondering, does Barclays have the money? Is your money gone somehow? And they weren't able to transfer it from this branch to that branch in time, and whatever UK plant, the UK branch versus the US branch or this branch, we got to move some money around. Have you ever tried to go to the bank and just take out a few $1,000s? The last time I did that was years and years and years ago. And it was difficult then. I wanted to take out back then $10,000, $11,000, something like that. And I said, I'm going to keep this in my safe. I'm pulling this out. And I kept it out for a while and then ultimately used the cash for some certain things. But it was like pulling teeth. Oh, yeah, I could probably give you like $3,000 if you want to hold for a minute. I was in the branch. If you want to hang on for a minute, I could. Let me call one. There's 2 other branches kind of close by. Let me call them and see if I can what they've got. She comes back. Well, you can get 3 from us today. You can get another 2,500, I think she said, at another branch. I said, no, listen. And she said, or we can schedule a day next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, where I know how much you want out. I'll make sure we put in an order for that amount of cash for you. I said, yeah, I think we'll just do that. I'm not going to bounce around to 3 or 4 different locations to get most of it, but not, you know what I mean? Like, I can wait. I don't need this money right this second. And I'll tell you, when Tuesday came, it was there. I went to one branch and the money was there. But why is it so difficult? And the whole time I'm thinking in my head, I'm just one guy. 10, 11K is not like this enormous amount of money. I'm one guy, one person. How many customers are at this branch? How many customers go to the other branch you called that only had 2,500? And what about the third branch that I didn't even hear about? I didn't even care about that one. You're telling me you don't have that kind of cash on hand? This is years ago again. Years ago. I wonder what it's like today. It's no wonder why they want to go to a digital, online-only system, digital currency. However, if the banks don't got the money, they've been gambling again and lost some bets digitally this time, which is how they lost it last time. I mean, these banks, when they bet on the markets and bonds and everything, they're not moving cash around per se. It's just digital numbers in their system that's being moved around. And they made a big bad bet. Oh, it was wrong. And the digital money got wiped out. Case in point, MF Global. You can still get wiped out. So the smart ones of us, you and I'm going to get my cash out of the system. How do you get digital numbers out of a digital system? Assuming we go into the New World Order system with all digital crap, right? You don't. You can't say, oh, I'm just going to take my money out and stuff it in the safe or under the mattress or whatever, stuff it on the mattress, put it in the safe. What are you going to do? You can't take it. You can't do anything with it. Oh, my friends, you may not have thought of this one. Maybe you did. You could buy some precious metals with your cash and store those metals at home, even in the digital one world order type of system. And you hang on to the precious metal at your house, and should anything happen, you still got your precious metals. You can sell them, barter, whatever you may have to do. Now, if your particular currency is in deep trouble, again, you can sell it because inflation would be massive as far as the price of gold goes versus your devaluing currency. You would sell that for more of your devaluing currency. Except you'd get a lot of your currency. If you didn't like that, you sell it for another currency if you want to. So that is one way around it. Another story I want to talk about. When's the last time you heard about J.C. Penney's? It's been a little while. I'll admit. I haven't had to mention J.C. Penney's, and if I'm to be honest, I feel like maybe 8, 9, 10 months ago, maybe-ish. Could be up to a year ago. That's another walking dead man, unfortunately. Unfortunately for JCPenney, been a name brand store for a long, long, long time. That name, everybody knows that name. And I will say I have to attribute some of this to the way technology is pushing us. In other words, let me give you the headline. JCPenney is closing up to 140 stores and cutting jobs, of course. So I've said it before. I really, really, really enjoy. In fact, let me go to Amazon right now. Because I've been trying some new razors to shave with. The three blade dudes. Oh, that must be better than 2. Because 2 is always better than 1. But I'm finding that the triple blades don't do a good enough shave as far as I'm used to like the double blades do. So, since I'm here, was it dual blade razor in all departments? Right on Amazon, I can search and, there's razors all over the place. Packs of razor, you name it. Whatever. Anyways, I can go to Amazon and have the crap delivered to my door. I don't have to leave the house. I don't have to put gas in my car. I don't have to deal with the sheeple in the mall or anywhere else. I can sit right here. Don't have to rub elbows with zombies, nothing else. So I do have to attribute this, some of what I'm about to read you, to that fact. But you could argue back and say, yeah, but there's other retail outlets, JSNIP, that are fine. They're not, and you could say our competitors, the JCPenney, they're not closing down. And I would say, you're right. So between technology, Amazon, etc., and lying politicians and so-called economists, this is why Sears is JCPenney's is closing, because Sears is going to be on their way out ultimately too. But JCPenney, this is again proof positive. There's no recovery. Things are still getting worse. If you don't know by the last 2 or 3 weeks of my videos, then you just don't have a clue, and maybe you're not ready for old JSNIP 4 and his 3 videos a day telling you what the hell's going on. JCPenney's store footprint will shrink considerably in the next few months. The department store retailer announced this morning that it will shutter, and that's this morning being Friday morning, will shutter 130 to 140 stores and 2 distribution facilities this year, 2017, under a plan to, quote, optimize its national retail operations as part of the company's successful return to profitability. Listen. You ever hear of a company called Radio Shack? You remember that store? I think they did something similar. We're going to close a few stores to be more profitable again. We're going to keep our good stores. And I'm trying to think. Maybe I can do a quick search for you. How many Radio Shack stores are... Oh, thanks, Google. Google, I knew what I was going to ask. Are left. As of 2015, which 2 years ago, after Radio Shack dies, there will still be 1,000 unchanged Radio Shacks. The future of Radio Shack's franchisees is clouded, but there's nothing stopping them, for now, from carrying on the storied name. So what this is suggesting, yes, Radio Shack filed for bankruptcy in a move that has been long coming. No, that doesn't mean the Radio Shack brand will be swept from great American corporate landscape. In fact, more than 1,000 franchise stores locations will be virtually untouched by the grim news. But again, this was from February of 2015. And I'm curious, as I always am, wanting to find that data. Well, a year later, 2016, March, what happened to Radio Shack? New updates released. With rapid growths in technology and gadgets, it's no wonder various brick and mortar technology stores are thrown into a frenzy of competition with their competitors in order to stay in business, yada yada yada. With a wide selection of TVs, yada yada yada. Trying to find the data. For the sake of simplicity and ease of, let's start at the dawn of Radio Shack. Yada yada. I don't want it to dawn. Just give me the data. Radio Shack in the 2000s, stores started closing. Fake news. Fake news, GazetteReview.com. Where is the update? Hold on. Despite its almost 1 year long continuation since conception, Radio Shack had came to an unfortunate demise as the business could not sustain itself any longer. While the company was one of the first electronic stores and at one point the leading electronic store, Radio Shack has been falling into its end for years. As the director of CBS News said, Radio Shack died years ago. We're only now holding the funeral now, coupled with a decline in public interest and public admiration due to layoffs, yada yada. Radio Shack has lost its favor now as a public. Okay, fine. But how many stores are left? I can't seem to find that answer. And everything is pointing me back to 2015. Looks like there may be... Judge allows Radio Shack to keep 1,700 stores open. Again, April 2015. How about 2017? 2017. I just want some data. Can I have some data, please? Google, somebody help me. There's zero. Oh, RadioShackStoreLocator.com. Anything in Florida? There are some. We have some in Florida. Temple Terrace, okay, yeah. Remember that? Tampa, Ruskin, another Tampa. There's a few of these things surviving. But the point of me telling you that was, I think they also tried to restructure to become more profitable. And it's not working. It didn't work. Yes, these are franchisees trying anything to stay alive. Why do I want to go to Radio Shack when I can go right on Amazon and buy stuff? You might say, well, you might need it today. And a lot of people need something today. Not in 2 days, Amazon Prime, but today, let me go to Radio Shack. And I get it. But if that was enough to keep Radio Shack alive, we wouldn't have seen what we see. Same with JCPenney's. They have all kinds of stuff at JCPenney. Of course, it's a clothing and whatnot store, but they had remember the little jewelry section and the perfumes, all this other crap. Appliances and certain things too. This is, if our economy wasn't declining and I'm showing you all these numbers and the data that is suggesting this is worse than terrible, I'd be scratching my head right now. Why is this article coming? Matter of fact, my head does kind of itch. Let me scratch it right back here. That's the spot. I would be flabbergasted. Why are they closing their stores? Why are they closing? The economy's in great condition. But I know better. I see better. This is a symptom of a much, much, much larger, much greater problem. If you turn on the TV, you may not be aware of the problem. But if you turn on YouTube and go to some certain people, myself included, you will find the real story behind what the hell's going on. The fake numbers. Pump up this bubble, pop. That bubble, stock market, pump it up, pop. Retirement bubble, pension, pop. Everything's a bubble. And the Federal Reserve, all central banks across the world are keeping this fake charade, this game, this Ponzi scheme going just a little bit longer while having to throw and create huge amounts of debt just to keep it where it's at. And where it's at isn't even level. We'd like it to be going up, but we'd settle for level right now. No, it's going down. So I'm not shocked. This isn't surprising at all. JCPenney's will be gone ultimately. I think Sears will be gone ultimately. Malls and things. I get it. People want to go out and walk, do a little shopping. Certain things will always survive. So I do think there will be things in the mall that survive. Again, young teeny boppers. Mom, can you take us to the mall? Yeah, okay. Drop them off for a couple hours. It's somewhere for them to go, socialize, meet their friends from school if they go to school, whatever. I did it too when I was younger. But it just doesn't look good. It's just more data, in my opinion, more proof that we're being lied to. This Trump or no Trump, this is not going to end in a good way. Take care.